Dear colleagues, I'm very lucky to be here. Again, my name is Marianna Prysiazhniuk. I represent here Ukrainian organization StopFake. I will start in a nutshell in several details just about our project. StopFake was launched in early 2014 in response actually for started Russian aggression back then with the annexation of Crimea and the invasion in east of Ukraine. And this year it was recognized by American Library of Congress like a unique source of historical source and proof of Russian disinformation. So I will dedicate my today presentation for such concept like informational resilience. You know, it is ongoing discussion in our within our team, everyday discussion, how to combat, how to communicate, how to respond better. And I can say, frankly speaking, it's endless. It has plenty angles and it has a lot of approaches how to combat effectively, and I will come up with some insights both from our collective input and from my personal experience. I would like to focus on three parts of my presentation: dimensions, narrative, and strategies. And strategies, I would say, from both parts, from Russian Federation, like the main actor of spreading disinformation, and strategies of combating disinformation. So first dimension is the social media. You know, starting from 24th of February, the role of Telegram's anonymous group, even Facebook, I don't know, personal chats play crucial role in spreading disinformation. And it actually not the matter even of spreading disinformation, like the lack of personal awareness, which information should be shared with, even in our personal chats. And a lot of people without being aware of that could contribute to spreading disinformation. So it is the first point that social digital space is crucially important in tackling disinformation strategically. And just to mention, every example which I've put on the slide represent the point which I described. You're probably all aware about hybrid threats. It's okay. It's mostly military concept, but today information becomes more and more weaponized because Russian media fully state controlled, and they synchronized with diplomacy and anonymous groups, and it proceeding against different states, obviously again in the context of aggression against Ukraine. The third dimension, disinformation, I put it's like that, or versus inside propaganda, because when we talk about different terms, it's very important to understand where it has started. When we are talking about disinformation, it's obviously about harmful intention to damage some entity, some state, some community, about breaking something intentionally. When we speak about propaganda, it's go far beyond the editorial office, and it starts from misusing culture, misusing history, and it is exactly what we are seeing from Kremlin part. But I prefer to use these terms together because it's very mixed these days, and it is really has no sense to distinguish these 2 points. But it's very important to understand where it starts. As my colleague has already mentioned, exploding social conflicts, it is a center concept how it starting in a particular society, because it's always about manipulating existing moods, and it is always about, it's not like conflict. I'm by saying that, I mean in mostly debate, because when disinformation appears in the public debates, when it has information, when it is health information space, it is debate. But after appearing disinformation in in such conditions. It is transforming in conflict. So it is the main point, and we need to be aware who we are, our triggers, and existing conflict in our society. It's extremely okay when there are a lot of points discussed by people in every country, but that is an point when someone starts to misuse our moods against ourselves. Communicating response. Yeah, it's about strategy mostly. How could we combat disinformation? And there are only two directions: engage and disengage. So when we are talking about engagement, it is confronting, naturalizing, and it depends on which type of fake, which type of information we receive or our state is affected by. For example, when some kind of diplomacy, Russian diplomacy, tries to disseminate some disinformation, misinformation, manipulation, it is obviously circumstances when another counterpart should respond. And here we are saying about naturalizing. Confronting, it's kind of debate when it has sense, but there are some also types of fakes when it has no sense even to pay attention on that. And this all depends on the communication strategy of the state, communication strategy of organization. And we need to understand our goals, structure of social conflicts, meaning debate. And after that, we are able to, to tackle regarding this two direction, to choose a proper direction, depending on the position where we are. I'm pretty sure you know all type of narratives like manipulation with energy topic, manipulation with spreading disbelief in NATO, in European institution. It's like meta-narratives in the continent, I would say, regarding the Ukraine, regarding other Eastern countries like concept fail state, etc. It's all kinds of narratives that you already know. But it is also interesting to see inside these narratives because, as we have already established, there are also three types of these narratives from the point how they work, how they function against societies. First of all, it is suppression, destruction, and direction. And it's pretty clear, but it's interesting, the last one, direction, when we, like in society, feel led by someone, by some internal groups, fifth column, we like to say in Ukraine. And in this case, actually, we are talking about propaganda when a lot of state control agents beyond the information space try to affect decision-making process. Yeah, and this is the last part of my presentation, information resilience. So what should we do? Is it enough to communicate in response? Is it enough to do just fact-checking? Very useful word. And we believe that resilience, which starts from individual awareness, individual capacity to recognize disinformation, recognize when information should be checked by someone else, some professional entities. We believe that it could be approach which could help in this situation. Yeah, as I already said, it started from individual capacity to adapt, to determine harmful points, and it's starting point of how a society, governments, and institutions work together to strengthen society. Also one option, I call it black swans of informational resilience. You know, arguments are twofold every time, and it extremely depends on the context and different circumstances in different countries from different circumstances. And communicating response should consider this. And communication response from the point of combating propaganda, tackling disinformation, we should pay attention on that point where society, state, governance policy really will act in that way. So we can't say like we can't react in untruth way. We can't react back with disinformation or propaganda. Obviously, every state has our own communication approach, and frankly speaking, on propaganda. I will show you in the end the video what happens if state misuse this approach, and what happens if there appear too much black swans. And the main idea so far that we are discussing in our team, it's cooperation for building trust. Trust is a central concept in any informational security. Foster education and media literacy, and part of digital competencies is a strong skills within different social group, especially vulnerable groups. Thank you.